Welcome to Born to Watch, where three old mates, an ex-video shop owner, an industry insider, and a black belt in 80s kung fu movies put their mastery to the test on movies that changed the world.
Hey there, fellow watchers. We hope you enjoyed your Christmas and New Year break. And if you're back to work, we've got the perfect remedy for you and the easy way to kill some time whilst you're avoiding your workmates or your passive-aggressive bosses. I'm Whitey, one of the co-hosts, and with me, as always, is my loyal number two, the G-Man. How are you, mate?
Great. Loving this beautiful weather we're having on the sunny Gold Coast.
About time.
It's really hit its straps finally into early January. We've been missing this for a couple of months, but yeah, it's been great. A couple of weeks off and lazing by the pool and doing all that stuff.
Yep. We're straight back into it, though.
We're right into it now.
Into the darkness of the panic room we go, and we are without Dan this week. He's got a bit on up there on the land, but we're thinking of him and his family. Special guest, the super sub, Damo. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
It's good to be back. Couple of big things have happened.
Do tell.
So I've been cruising. I've been to Vanuatu. I sent you a picture. I stumbled across the Yoda Club,
I did see
the Vanuatu branch of the Yoda Club. A whole bunch of kids in a tree. So I thought I'd go and join them because I'm trying to obviously establish the Victoria Point branch. And I got up there and I showed them a picture of you as the 6-year-old founder of Whitey, that is, of the 6-year-old founder of the Yoda Club.
Yep.
And they first looked at it and thought it was like the little fat kid from Hey Dad. And they said, no, it's not him. And then when it dawned on them, they looked at it just the same way the Ewoks looked at C-3PO. They were just like, oh my gosh.
Mystified.
Yeah. And the other big thing that happened was you did the Christmas series of Born to Watch did the Christmas series. So
Absolutely.
I was in one of them. I think, yeah. I was in one.
You did Love Actually.
Yeah, yeah.
did, yeah.
So I was in one, and I managed to pick up Man of the Series. So Dave Warner and I have been out celebrating, and so yeah, we've been out, having a bender. It's been great. Both of us really thoroughly deserved our awards.
Well, he'd be a great bloke to be getting out for a beer with.
Yeah.
Coogee Bay Hotel.
Coogee, yes, yeah. Him and I there. That's it. Yeah.
Coogee.
So anyway, that's what's been happening with me.
Excellent. Well, mate, it's a pleasure having you again. We look forward to see what you bring to the show. It's always something great. Look, The Goonies was released in 1985 and comes with some serious pedigree behind it. Directed by Richard Donner, produced by Steven Spielberg, and written by Christopher Columbus. Look, in hindsight, this movie was always destined for greatness. But did it reach its heights? In the next 90 or so minutes, we'll discover that. So, gents, when did we first see The Goonies?
Well, what's the date today?
It's the 10th of the 1st, 2022.
Okay, I saw it on the 9th of the 1st, 2022.
Wow.
So I knew all about this movie, but I had never actually taken the plunge. So, I knew about it a lot through watching Countdown back in the 80s because that song, Good Enough, Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper was played multiple times over multiple weeks. So I kind of knew the story and who was in it. And I could always remember Short Round, that kid from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. So yesterday was my first time I watched it.
Righto. What about you, Gal?
Look, I saw this early on when it came out. I don't think I ever saw the whole movie, though. I've seen large chunks of it.
Chunks.
Yeah, well done.
There you go. You like that? You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. Completely unintentionally, but I see what you did there.
But and then I had a rewatch of this, so it was very, very interesting to think back on to what I remember and to what we see today for this movie, and I'm sure we'll discuss that as we get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm a bit like Damo. I came a bit late to this movie, not all the way, not yesterday, but I didn't see this movie, I reckon, until the mid-90s. I reckon this was a bit like E.T. with me, where I sort of discovered it later on in life. Again, the Good Enough film clip with Cyndi Lauper was what I knew of, so I felt like I'd seen the movie. And the original film clip for Good Enough was 12 minutes.
Yes.
And so it was a massive thing.
The wrestlers, the same set.
Yeah.
This is at the height of when music video clips
This is MTV.
like when Michael Jackson's doing 19 minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when everybody's going crazy for them.
Absolutely. Well, in that film clip, the Bengals played Pirates.
They did, yes.
There was It was massive. There were so
The
many
wrestlers.
Big Lou Albano. Albano,
Captain Lou Albano.
Captain Lou Albano with the
yeah.
what were you saying with the
Rowdy, with the rubber bands
Rubber
stuck to
bands?
his
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
he was a
had them in
dud
the
wrestler,
beard,
though. Yeah, I never got it. I loved Rowdy Roddy. He was probably one of my favourites.
Yeah.
The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, like a couple of the best baddies going around.
Tag team champions.
and
Yeah.
And it's quite funny
Undisputed.
because if you remember that at the start of the movie when they're sitting in the lounge room, it's actually playing. Good Enough's playing on the TV.
Yes, yes.
But the song actually wasn't done for 6 months after the movie had wrapped, so they weren't actually watching
right.
Good
Oh,
Enough
really?
on the TV.
yes.
Yeah. We come with the heat.
Yeah, you did.
Getting in early.
Yeah, listen to this.
This is it, early. Now let's listen to the trailer.
Wait a minute!
Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Hey, Mike found the map! Whoa, do you guys realize what we could do? I don't want to go on any more of your crazy Goonie adventures.
Meet Mikey,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Brand, Andy,
Shame. Come on, Brad. Slip her the tongue. That's disgusting. No, I can't even look.
Mouth,
I gotcha. Now get out from behind her. You're ruining the painting. You're ruining my joke.
Stephanie, Data,
Booty banger! Oh, guys, isn't that neat?
and Chunk.
Locked.
They call themselves The Goonies. They've stumbled onto a legend, but they're not alone.
Chunk, I hope that was your stomach. No. That's the it. Sounds like Kong.
Discover what they uncover.
Rubies and emeralds and diamonds.
The lost map,
Oh, this is the start of the tunnel.
the secret caves,
Hey, Mikey! You can hear me! Run! Run! They're coming after you!
the hidden clues,
Mikey!
the treacherous traps.
Hello, Sheriff. I'm at the Lighthouse Lounge, and I want to report a murder.
Just like that last prank about all those little creatures that multiply when you throw water on them.
Take the oath.
I'm here! Somebody's coming!
Join the adventure as Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Well, another great 80s trailer. 2.5 minutes again, Gow. You quite like it at about that length, don't you?
Yeah, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
Yeah, every time. That's Gow, the 2.5 minute man. So, look, let's talk about overs and unders. Now, Damo,
Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to get the abacus beads out. I'm going for one.
one. Okay,
Yep.
excellent. I had set this at 25. It's a, it's,
Jeez.
it's nearly 40 years old, this movie.
Is that 25 for the three of us?
It might be.
It's going to have to be.
Yeah. Well, how many times do you reckon you've seen this, Gow?
Twice.
Really? What?
Well, I just said to you, I saw
Yeah.
it once. I saw it once.
Wow.
Chunks it earlier.
Did you
and
watch
then-
it with
and
the
then
kids
rewatched it.
this time?
I did, and funnily enough, they were not into it.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't
So
it?
we'll get into that. Yeah, either was Chrissy. They weren't into it. They watched. I got them to watch it. High hopes. So maybe what you remember or what was made you feel good then, it sort of changes over time. But
Yeah, for sure.
they weren't into it.
Oh, interesting. See, I watched this with Isabel. She quite enjoyed it, but she'd watch paint dry, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so I'm under 25. I reckon I'd be around 15 to 20. So as a conglomerate, we are under 25. So well done. So Gow, why don't you tell us about the movie?
All right, with the tagline, "Take the oath, join the adventure." Actually, just a question: was there actually an oath in the movie?
No, there's not, but we can get to that and listen to this because they cut that out of the movie.
Yeah, they did cut that
Yeah.
out. I thought so. I didn't hear it anywhere there. Anyway, take the oath, join the adventure. From the imagination of Steven Spielberg, The Goonies plunges a band of small heroes into a swashbuckling, surprise around every corner quest beyond their wildest dreams. following a mysterious treasure map into a spectacular underground realm of twisting passages, outrageous booby traps, and a long-lost pirate ship full of golden doubloons. The kids race to stay one step ahead of a family of bumbling bad guys and a mild-mannered monster with a face only a mother could love. A family adventure classic from start to finish, The Goonies is a cinematic treasure trove of breathtaking action, dazzling effects, and shiver your timbers thrills. There you go. Could be a little more descriptive, couldn't it?
Well, I've got to say, though, it's not a face a mother could love because she does not love Sloth.
That's a fair
She's
point.
the world's worst mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's awful.
Sloth may even be better looking than her too.
Yeah, look, you're not wrong. She's not attractive. She's a throw mama from the train.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked her though.
Yeah.
She was probably one of my favourites in the
Oh,
show.
you like the villains.
She was great.
You're all over the Fratelli brothers. I know already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They were
You're
great.
all over
Yeah.
them. Yeah. Well, we got a new little segment here called critical thinking. We're going to talk about the ratings, which we've done in the past.
This may be lost on us.
It might be. Well, it's lost on me. It took a long time to come up with the title. I'll give you the tip. So, look, IMDb have got The Goonies rated at 7.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes have this 76% on the tomato meter and 91% on the audience score. This is a fan favourite, this film. There's no doubt. I think, Gow, you make a really good point. I think this is a real fan favourite for people of our generation that saw it at the time.
Yep.
I'm not sure it's as easy a watch today if you are watching it fresh. And I'll be interested to see what Damo says about it, being as a first watch and being an adult.
Well, I found that because I watched it a lot when I was a kid and have an appreciation or, an affection for it over that time. I think, it's The Goonies, it's great. And rewatching it didn't hold my attention that well. And I know it obviously, as I've already said, it didn't for the kids. So, yeah, it's one of those movies I think that was probably great at the time, but with what people have today, it hasn't sort of stood the test of time like Ghostbusters or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, so we've got a couple reviews here. We've got one good, one bad. This is where the critical thinking comes into it. Now, Roger Ebert, we should all know Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times. This is his review in 2004.
Oh, Roger Ebert.
Rog, from Siskel and Ebert fame.
Yep, never heard of him.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert, yeah.
The Goonies is a smooth mixture of the usual ingredients from Steven Spielberg action movies, made special because of the high-energy performances of the kids who have the adventures. He gave it 3 out of 4. Now, the bad one, Dave Kerr from the Chicago Reader in 2007. It's a charmless exercise. Director Richard Donner turns the kids into shrieking ferrets, and his jumpy cutting seems to lag behind the action deliberately in a curious attempt to make the film seem more chaotic and cluttered.
That sounds a little harsh.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle of those.
I would, but I agree with that second one in the sense that at the start, I think, most of those characters jump around a lot. There's a lot that goes on in those first few scenes in the house, and it's sort of I was trying to understand who they are and what they're doing. So I think it maybe is a little bit chaotic like that. I can understand his point. I wouldn't go as far as what he said, but
there's not a lot to like about those kids at the start.
No, but but that's the thing. I think they actually played kids. They swore. They did some dicky things.
Yeah.
But that's what little 10-year-old shits do.
Yeah.
And that to me, they were actually not like they were actually real kids.
Yeah.
They made their mate do the truffle shuffle before he could come in the house.
That's right.
It's a real group of friends because they were the misfits. So there's no doubt they were the also-rans. Got picked on a bit at school, and they were the nerds. But they were real. They seem to be real characters. Like Mouth, he's just Morgs. He's dead set Morgs, sucking up to the mums, asking you need a cup of tea,
brushing his
sitting there.
hair.
Oh,
Mate,
mate,
he had Morgs' hair in the 90s too. Had that full boof.
It was a beautiful boof. It was Joe Hashem
Solid.
from
Doesn't
Cop
speak-
Shop.
Oh yeah, it was good.
doesn't speak as good Spanish as Morgs, but he's very good.
No, but Mouth was he probably annoyed me most out of them.
Yeah.
Just like you little turd sometimes.
And can you run me through the intricate gate opening system?
Yeah, I was like, God, come on, just jump over the gate, mate. But then it's Chunk. He gets stuck on the gate.
But is that some sort of trope? Like
it was like a mouse trap
Well,
thing.
because I think
they
it's
push out to
well,
something
I think
else.
it's because
Because they're going.
because Data is next door, so he's obviously had something to do with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, they obviously had a lot of time there in Astoria.
It just sort of set the tone that it was like little gadgets, and this thing rolls down to click that thing, to hit that thing, to move that, to open the gate.
Yeah.
It was just sort of a little setup for their little inventiveness and
And then
gadgets.
Then there was Brand. And Damo, you probably would have run the shorts over trackies
Mate.
back in Belrose, like
I'm
with your
pre-
gang.
Yeah. Look, I've got this in my good, and I
I knew you would.
And for someone who appreciates Leroy from Fame, like I do, that was his standard gear. And to see someone do it in the whole movie, I was like,
Yeah.
this was unbelievable high fashion.
committed.
I loved it.
But he did take the red headband off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, actually, at first I thought he looked like Josh Hartnett.
He did a little. Yeah.
And when he was on the bench, I thought, no, he's too young. And then I was like, oh, that's bloody Josh Brolin. That's Thanos.
That's Thanos, yeah. One of the bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Purple plums.
That was Will Ferrell, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that is Will Ferrell.
is Will
but
Ferrell.
Thanos has got purple plums. All right, Gal, why don't you take us through the cast?
All right. We'll start with Sean Astin. You know, he's born Sean Patrick Duke. His real name.
Yeah, Paddy
Yep.
Jukes' his mum.
Yeah, Paddy Duke's his mum. He starred with his mum in first show was 81 in a show called Please Don't Hit Me, Mum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't art imitating life.
It was a documentary.
Might have been one of those, yeah. This is a special episode.
Trigger
anyway,
warning.
Yeah. Anyway, The Goonies, it was his first real movie role. He was in The War of the Roses. Played young Josh in 89, Memphis Belle, and then into Toy Soldiers.
Great movie.
And then 93, Rudy. Cracking
Great movie.
movie.
Don't
Great
know it.
movie. Haven't you?
No.
Oh, yeah, really good movie where he's a high school football player. And
He's intellectually challenged.
yes.
Rightio.
Yeah.
And he's small and they put him on the team and it's how well he copes with that. It's a really, really good.
It's a very Gow movie.
Yeah.
Gow
Good
likes
stuff.
hard movies and likes underdog movies. That's Gow in a nutshell.
Fair enough.
Hard but fair.
He likes a hard underdog.
I've heard that.
Courage Under Fire, 96. And then obviously went big in the Lord of the Rings franchises as Samwise Gamgee in the early noughts. 51st Dates, another good role.
Mate, he's
Doug
awesome.
Whitmore,
He's
the brother.
awesome in 51st Dates.
Have you seen that, Damo?
Yes, I have.
Where's the best singlet in that?
Yeah, the
I
fishnet.
cannot
song.
remember
The
that.
fishnet singlet.
Remember he's on
Oh,
the
that is
steroids.
awesome then.
He's
on
the
the steroids.
bodybuilder on the steroids, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Drew
It's funny.
Barrymore's brother.
But did a lot of jobbing after that until Stranger Things.
Mm,
Yeah,
he
Stranger
was good in that.
Things.
Yeah.
Plays Bob.
Bob Newby, yeah. But yeah, so anyway.
Well, one thing I was looking up too, Sean Astin. He got adopted by John Astin
Yeah.
at the age of
Yes.
3. So John Astin, who's Gomez Adams.
Adams, yeah.
But because I watched European Vacation just before I went away, and John Astin was the pig in the poke.
Big in the poke.
Yeah, the pig in the poke host, Kent,
Yeah.
and he was full on. I was laughing my head off because he's passionate into Ellen Griswold, and then when they win, and then he grabs Audrey, and he's
He
full on
looks into
hooking
her,
in,
doesn't he?
he's
Yeah.
grabbing her ass. He's the host. Mate, he was so funny in that. That was probably the best bit of European Vacation.
Oh, no, there's a couple of best bits. He's going to
Yeah,
pork her us.
Oh, yeah, that
he's
bit.
gonna
No,
pork her.
the John Astin stuff.
And Gow's favourite
Kill
part
me.
of European Vacation is when they're on the Eiffel Tower and he's wearing the
Yeah.
beret.
What's
He
the?
goes, what's the...
Yeah.
Look, Gow's got a pair of shorts he wears all the time with rusty down the leg. And every time he wears them, I'm, what's the...
They're my golf shorts. They cop a wusty every time. Also, like, look, kids, Big Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's a bloody funny movie.
But yes, all right, let's keep moving. Josh Brolin.
Keep rolling.
Again, this was his first movie as Brand, the older brother. Did a couple of TV shows in the mid '80s. Anyone want to hazard a guess?
In mid-80s, or like a
Mid-80s.
Fall Guy or something.
Something like that.
TJ Hooker.
Close. He was.
Hill Street Blues.
No, he was in Highway to Heaven. Did an episode of
Oh, we
Highway
talked
to
about that
Heaven.
before with Michael
Yeah,
Landon.
Michael Landon.
Michael
The
Landon.
equalizer of the Angels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He did.
And did an episode of 21 Jump Street.
Doug Penhall.
Yes, yes.
Peter
He's
DeLuise.
Played Taylor Relator.
Dustin Nguyen.
What a name. Dustin. That's right. Look, was in Mimic in '97 with Mira Sorvino.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. The
The
Mod
horror
Squad.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's mimicking humans. It's
Yeah,
like a big
yeah.
cockroach in the sewers.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, the Mod Squad, Hollow Man in 2000, and then No Country for Old Men in 2007,
movie.
which is
Oh, he was
just
pretty good in that.
unreal.
I
he's
just watched
awesome.
that the other day God, it's good.
I've
Llewellyn.
only watched it once, and I'm never going to watch it again. It's too disturbing. That Sugar.
Anton Chigurh, yeah.
he's full on.
I
He,
just
he's
can't.
one of the best bad guys of all time.
Oh,
Could be
he's
the best.
so
Maybe.
good.
That's why I really do not want to watch it ever again. I was like, no way. It was just he was just an evil bastard.
That scene where he's got the old guy in his little shop,
Yeah.
you just
It's
you just
great.
know evil's coming, right?
The way he plays that part, and
Yeah.
the old bloke is just completely like,
Yeah, befuddled.
What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
He is as good as Darth Vader in terms of like
He's very good.
like a
Yeah,
real bad.
that's a cracking role for him.
But Josh Brolin was so cool in that because he was pretty switched on. Was he an ex-army guy?
Ex-army, ex-Vietnam.
Because he could hold his own pretty good. He was
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, and then he worked out a few things, but he was up against this evil guy. But yeah,
Well, he's like a Terminator.
That
he was. Yeah,
that chase scene, when they come out of the
Out of the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unreal. Just
He
the way they're down the street.
hops in the car, he shoots the guy.
Yeah. Shoots the guy through the window, and then he gets him behind the car, and he's gone. And then when he has to go and fix up his leg, blows up the car at the front.
God,
It's a good movie.
and even Woody Harrelson, I think when he described Sugar, he said, "Oh, he's just got a bad sense of humor or something, or people don't understand him very well." It's like,
Yeah.
mate, the guy's the
Woody
cold-blooded
Harrelson's
killer.
very good in that movie.
Yeah.
He was not in it for very long, but he's
No.
excellent.
But yeah, look, we're going to have to cover that. Look, we've just gone through 5
sure.
minutes of it. We've
Yeah.
got to get that on here.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Anyway,
Anyway, I
yes.
have to watch it twice.
American Gangster in 2007 as well.
Yep.
He's in Milk. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in that in 2008. And then True Grit, the remake of True Grit.
Another great movie.
Yeah. Men in Black 3 played young Kay.
Terrible movie.
Terrible. But he actually, look, I thought his portrayal of him
Yeah,
was
he's
pretty
pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
Like he sort of cuts
He
across
does
and
look
gets
like he
all that
does
stuff.
come across like Tommy Lee Jones.
He
there's
does.
no
He
doubt,
does. Yeah. You could sort of see him as a young Tommy Lee Jones. He was in Gangster Squad as well with Ryan Gosling and Nick Nolte.
Mm.
And then obviously Thanos in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers movies, Sicario.
Oh,
Another
mate,
cracking
I watched
movie.
that the other day as well. That's a great guy. That's a great
Yeah.
movie. Emily Blunt's amazing in that. So is
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro. He'll flip you for real.
For real.
For real.
So, yeah, and his latest one was in June. One of your favourites, Whitey. I think we started watching that at your place one night. I never got through it.
Did we? What's it called?
June,
Oh, June. Sorry, yeah. It's a great movie.
not your June.
No, I was having a June moment, but no, June is excellent. Very, very good. Have you seen
I
June?
have. I saw it at the movies, but
Yeah.
I can't remember who. Was he like Timothy Chalamet's
He's the
dad?
bodyguard.
Oh, the bodyguard.
Oh no, he's the soldier. He's the general.
Yeah. Okay. He's the Patrick Stewart of the first one.
Yes. Yeah, he is actually.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Or was he the
He was Gurney.
Yeah.
Gurney
So
Halleck.
he was like he was the martial arts, the master of arms, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, not Jason Momoa,
No,
who's like the warrior.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
the
yeah.
he's the general guy.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Gurney. Yep.
He also played George W. Bush in W.
Yes.
He's good in that.
Yep.
That's not a great movie, but he's excellent in it.
Yeah, but look, Josh Brolin was engaged to Minnie Driver 2001,
Really.
and then Diane Lane in 2003.
He married
Oh,
Diane Lane. Diane Lane is
she's
a
a good
great
sort.
sort.
Yep.
Yep.
That's peak Diane Lane as well.
Peak.
Yeah. No.
Well, like she was amazing in The Outsiders in the 80s, but like
Yeah.
she's amazing.
she was in that Italian one. That movie. I don't know.
Unfaithful.
Oh no, the one they
Oh,
stole
Under the Tuscan Sun.
Tuscan Sun. Yeah.
Under the
Yeah, she's a
Tuscan
good sort in
Sun.
that.
Great sword.
But yeah, look, Josh Brolin auditioned for the role of Wild Bill Wharton in The Green Mile, which is Sam Rockwell's part.
Yep.
You get that? And
Can't
was-
imagine anyone other than Sam Rockwell
No,
playing that.
Sam
He's
Rockwell's pretty good.
incredible in
Samuel
that.
Rockwell's good in everything.
Everything.
But also was looked at to play Batman in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice before Ben Affleck was cast.
He's so short. I think Josh Brolin, they film him in a way where he looks really tall, but he's actually quite
He's
short.
quite
Is
short.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely. I thought he was a bigger guy.
Yeah, they film him that way. He's definitely no Thanos.
No.
But he was also considered for Starship Troopers as Johnny Rico.
Oh, Casper Van Dien.
I can see that.
Van Dien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see an
Could see him in
alternate-
that. Yeah.
We're covering Starship Troopers shortly
Oh,
as well. One of the great movies.
Yeah, it is an awesome movie. Anyway, moving on. Corey Feldman. Now we've touched on Corey Feldman.
He's been in a couple.
He's been in a couple. Bad News Bears in the early 80s. Gremlins, obviously 84. Then The Goonies, Stand By Me. All the 80s classics.
The two
The
Corys.
Lost
Two Corys,
Boys. Yeah. Well, they both auditioned for this role, and he beat Corey Haim.
This is where
for
they
the
met.
role. And this is where they
at
met.
audition.
And then they made
Became
like
best friends. Did
8
we
or
just
9
become
movies.
best friends?
Exactly. So much room for activities.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, but look, he was cast in E.T. the Extraterrestrial as well, but after a few rewrites, he was reduced to not much of a role. So
Wow.
So he was in E.T.
no, well he turned it down then and went and
Oh.
did Gremlins and the Goonies.
Good move for him.
Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, the Lost Boys, License to Drive, and then not much after that.
There's been a lot of memes going around of him lately where he's doing his. I might post something on our socials about it, but he's recorded an album. It's similar to like Eddie Murphy's album
is it?
record, and his dancing. He does some live performances where
Wow.
he's legitimately miming, and his dancing is horrendous.
Have to check it out.
Horrendous.
Just quietly, I saw the other week Bruce Willis's, he had his music career and he released that movie in '87.
Flicked
Yeah,
me a
Sonny.
copy of
I
that,
hadn't
yeah.
seen it for a while. That is some of the best dancing in a film clip you'll ever see in the pool room. You got to look it
Yeah.
up.
Which one?
What's the song?
Who's dancing in it?
Bruce Willis. He's
Bruce
singing
Willis
and
and his
dancing.
band.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
no,
think
that
of
just came through. That he just sent.
I saw that a little while ago, and I was like, when we did Die Hard, I researched. I was like, that is some of the greatest dancing you'll ever see.
No, he's killing it.
Oh, absolutely,
He's
kills
got
it.
his hair there
Look it
too.
up. Look it up, people. Anyway, look, let's go on. Jeff Cohen, Chunk.
Yeah.
Look, he did the Goonies and then did a few small TV roles, but nothing really after that.
Yeah, I read about Jeff Cohen though. He wasn't comfortable with the way he's portrayed in all the movies because he was the
He was
little
the
fat kid,
He was
Yeah.
the fat
right? And he honestly just was like, I'm over this. So he stopped acting.
He's shredded now.
Yeah, exactly. He's become extremely health conscious. He actually wrote a letter to Richard Donner to get recommendations to go to college. And in this, he wrote this thing, and Richard Donner read about, his early life and his struggles with weight and also with things like the truffle shuffle. So Richard Donner and his wife paid for his college tuition, and he became a really successful lawyer.
Oh, he's an entertainment lawyer, yeah. Well, he was. I'm not sure if he still is, but yeah.
Still,
it's,
yeah.
Yeah, look, Chunk in this movie, not a fan of that character, really.
It's an odd character.
It's an odd character, and he's whiny, and they don't, he doesn't get much of a
He's
much of a go
iconic.
at
He's
it.
iconic though. The truffle shuffle's iconic.
Well,
Yeah.
it is for the fun parts of that, but as I remember, I was rewatching that, going, I'm not really sure. Like he's just carrying on.
He's a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass, basically.
And they locked him in that fridge for a reason.
Well,
they
they're like,
knew he
you-
wasn't there.
You stay there.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how can they leave him in the fridge and not realise he's the biggest pain in the ass in the group? And they run off and he's in the fridge with the dead body?
Well, but then when they do escape down that fire pit and they don't know how to get, and they go out that window and get the police, why don't they all run out the bloody window?
But not only that, he's like fucking Spider-Man to get out the window.
Yeah.
He was just...
Yeah.
Couldn't get down there, but could get out the window.
But he was, he wasn't an annoying kid.
Yeah. The scene where they're trying to ask him for all the information, he starts crying and listing every bad thing he's done. I thought that was quite funny, but
Yeah.
but it's still in the whiny sort of character arc that he has.
It reminded me of when George Costanza was trying to get the unit. He had to tell the bad story.
Oh, about the Andrew Doria.
Yeah, so that he could get
Yeah.
the unit, and he listed every bad thing that had happened in his life. That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. Obviously he's an entertainment lawyer. He didn't do anything really after the Goonies. So, who's next? Kihei Kwan. We know his Short Round.
Short Round.
Obviously, that's what he's done. That was his first role in '84. Then the Goonies as Data, '85, and then he was actually in Head of the Class. Remember that TV show?
Is that with like Dustin Diamond? Is that one?
No, that's Saved by the Bell.
All right.
But Head of the Class was a '90s show, or he was in there in the '90s. He played a character called Jasper Kwong. But he hasn't done much since then. But he's in the new TV series, the new Loki, coming out with Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
didn't
sure how big a
watch-
role he has.
Loki was a great series.
Yeah.
Really good
I
series.
got through halfway through the first episode and canned it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
But yeah, so he's done a lot of training. After that, he sort of got out of the acting side, but he did a lot of Taekwondo and martial arts on Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, and then he trained under another master. So he worked as a stunt coordinator with Jet Li on the one. So look, I've had a bit to do with him because
Well,
back in the '90s, late
Did
'80s,
he
early 90s.
train with the same sensei?
No, but I knew him. I see him around a few kumites,
Yeah.
international kumites and things. Yeah, so like
ever gone head to head?
no,
toe-to-toe?
we never actually fought with him. But yeah,
They're not in the same weight class,
good,
really.
good bloke though, funny bloke, Bit of
What
a
do you
ladies,
call
bit of a
him?
ladies
What's his
man back
nickname?
then.
What's his nickname around the traps?
The rounder,
Right.
The short rounder.
short rounder.
Holy crap, that's amazing, Gal. Yeah.
The rounder. That was really quick, Gow.
Yeah, well, he's had a big roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Short legs, big roundhouse.
It's you know how to defend against a
Oh,
roundhouse.
mate, well, this is the
That's your bread and butter.
We had a bit of a run-in about that because I was actually telling a few guys how to defend that, and you know, he didn't like that. That was his move, and anyway.
Well, once you nullify his main move,
It's game over.
Mate, the international commentation can be a bitchy sport, I'll tell you.
I can
We'll
imagine.
just leave it at that.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. We'll do it. They've got a whole couple podcasts coming about that.
But anyway, on the set, when he used to phone his mum during the movie, he referred to George Lucas and Steven Spielberg as Bearded Man 1 and Bearded Man 2. That's how he distinguished between the two of them.
That's like Johnson and Johnson in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same name.
Big Johnson.
I was in junior high.
it was-
Big Johnson. Well, that's it.
Yeah, I
Robert
know.
David,
They're in
yeah.
here.
We're going to get to him.
Yeah.
But, the scene where he said, holy S-H-I-T, you know, he promised his mum he wouldn't swear in the movie.
I don't even remember that line.
That's at
but
the
okay.
end when the rocks are falling from the
Holy
cabin.
S-H-I-T. Yeah, because I think the word shit said 19 times in this movie, but he promised he wouldn't say it.
I worked with a guy, and he actually literally said sugar, honey, ice, and tea.
Yes. I've heard that as
I
well.
was like,
yeah.
are you kidding me? Like, you
How old
can-
was he?
But, like, probably at that stage, about 35.
I think he got bashed.
It's like, we're going, what did you say? What is
Wow. I'm not for bullying anyway. That'd tip me over the edge.
Yeah. Well, it was the same with Hugh Grant in Notting Hill when he said oopsie daisy when he fell off when he's trying to jump the fence.
Yeah. And she laughs at him.
She's like,
And
you
she
just
says,
say
"You
oopsie
say
daisy. No.
Anyway, all right, moving on. Joey Pants.
Oh,
What was his mate?
Cypher.
Yeah,
look,
Cypher.
You know, he's
Pantoliano?
been in a lot. Joe Pantoliano. Yeah, he's been in so many movies.
He's a jobber.
He was in 1980s in a movie called The Idolmaker, but his first real role was with Tom Cruise in Risky Business. He played the pimp.
He's
Guido.
the pimp, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Rebecca De Mornay's pimp.
Yeah. But then he did a ton of TV. Hill Street Blues, you guys already through it. Trapper John, MD, Heart to Heart, Simon and Simon.
Oh, wow.
Trapper John MD.
Yeah, mate, that's some top 80s stuff.
Yeah, he's
there.
done like the big five.
Yeah, he did. Mate, he's done the big
The
five.
Mount Rushmore of 80s.
But yeah, look, the Goonies and La Bamba. He was the manager, Bob Keane, in '87. He was in Empire of the Sun.
Great movie.
And Bad Boys, obviously '95 as the captain.
Just yells
Captain
the
Howard.
whole
Yeah.
movie.
Terrible basketballer.
Yeah, just yells the whole movie.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, is he kind of like a Lieutenant Todd?
He is
Yeah.
Lieutenant Todd, but 10 times worse than Lieutenant Todd.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, another good role as Cosmo Renfro in U.S. Marshals.
Yeah.
He's really good
In
role
The Fugitive
in that.
as well. He's
And
in
the
Fugitive.
and the Fugitive as well. Yes. But then, as Damo said, Cypher in the Matrix. He's
Dickhead.
in Memento.
I know this steak's fake or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's delicious. He was a bastard.
He gets it in the end.
Yeah.
But probably what everyone would know him for is his role in The Sopranos as Ralph Cifaretto, who he won a Best Supporting Actor for that.
He's very good in it.
Got won an Emmy for that, yeah. And then obviously lately Bad Boys for Life.
Idiot, though. Like, he's a bit of an idiot in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
But, they all are in the end.
Yeah, but look, he was offered the role of Leo in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Oh, Leo
Oh.
Getz.
Yeah.
Whatever Leo
You
said.
know
Whatever Leo
what?
wants.
He could, like, physically, he looks...
I could see him
do
taking that off.
I
I could
do
see him
that.
taking it off.
He-
I
but-
don't know if he'd be as good because that's sort of
No.
iconic now, but
Joe Pesci is just too good.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
Incredible.
Yeah, but he had to turn it down because he was doing a movie called Blue Heat.
Blue Heat.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sounds
the
like a
hottest
good
part of
choice.
Soft porn.
But is that the hottest part of the flame? The blue part?
It is.
Let's get some temperatures. Some stats. Where you got...
No stats on Blue Heat. When we do Blue Heat, you'll get some stats on that. All right, Robert Davey. Speaking of, his first movie's in City Heat in '84 with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember
that's
that.
an old one.
An
I haven't
old
seen that
movie.
for a long time.
I don't think I've seen it. Seen that. Know what the case looks like. The front of the case.
Yeah. It's that
Don't think I've seen
gangster,
it. Yeah,
old gangster.
Sort of
thing.
in the sepia.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Look, he's in obviously the Goonies, Raw Deal in '86. Action Jackson. Action Jackson gets a big
hotter,
run on our
hotter.
show.
One of the great movies.
The
Vanity.
Delaplane. Peter Delaplane was the baddie, wasn't he? He had
Oh,
hottest or whatever.
That's,
Faster.
that's a Sonny Payne staple. It's a shame we couldn't get him on the podcast.
Yes.
Shame. But anyway, yeah. So look, Die Hard we spoke about. He played Big Johnson,
Big Johnson.
the
Special
FBI
Agent Johnson.
Special Agent,
Johnson and Johnson,
and he was in Predator 2, as well as Showgirls.
Actually, can I just bring up Predator 2? You guys mentioned it. I love Predator 2. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then Showgirls, well, bloody Elizabeth Berkley. I think I saw that at the movies. It was
I'm
just
sure
a
you did.
Norks fest.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, it was because she was from Saved by the Bell, wasn't she?
She
that
was.
That was her breakout
So
role.
she's gone from this teenage high school show into this Tit City High
Yep.
in Las Vegas.
trying to make a name for herself. It didn't work.
Did not work. Yeah, not a good career move. I think that kind of killed her for a while, for a long
I don't
while.
know.
forever.
She became my favourite actress after that. It's pretty good.
I preferred Demi Moore. Oh, no, Showgirls. She's in Striptease. Showgirls is terrible.
But lots more boobs than striptease.
Lots more.
Striptease is nothing.
Showgirls has got Gina Gershon in it.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right. Oh, yeah. Is there a lesbian scene in
Yeah,
that
there is
too?
a lesbian
Yeah, there is. Yes.
Absolutely. 100% there is.
Jeez. Well, it's ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Did you say ticking?
Ticking.
Yeah, ticking.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, look, Robert Davey, he sings in this movie, but he was actually trained as an opera singer.
Yeah.
But
Well,
had
he busts it out there a bit, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Oh, yeah, he sings all through. He's actually got a good voice.
Yeah, no, he's a trained opera singer, but he actually had a throat injury along the line, so that stopped him. He damaged his voice, so gave it away, and that's why he concentrated on the movies.
He got shot. Did he get shot in the throat?
He might have.
His
A lot of
face,
shot-
he's
there's
got a lot of shotgun.
A lot of shotguns.
He's no Edward James Olmos, but
No,
he's probably
no doubt.
second
Yeah,
in
he's-
line for crater faces
No
in
doubt.
Hollywood.
No doubt.
It's Kinnicky.
Oh, yeah, he had a bit, yeah. But
Jeff Conaway.
He's got them all. Was there a list of...
No, Jeff Conaway is Kinnicky.
Oh, right, yeah.
Is there a list of shotgun faces?
yeah.
Gal's got it. Top 10 shotgun faces.
But he has got a good face for a baddie, or a serious,
he's-
serious person.
He was a baddie in Living Daylights, I think it was.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
the
He was in
James
Living
Bond.
Daylights. Yeah.
James Bond.
Yes.
Timothy Dalton.
With Timothy Dalton, yeah. He was Franz Sanchez.
Dirty.
Anyway, yeah.
It was dirty.
Oh, dirty Sanchez.
Oh, dirty. But look, and then the only other one is Anne Ramsey, who we touched on before. She was in Throw Mama from the Train, The Goonies as Mama Fratelli, and Any Which Way You Can in 1980.
Right turn, Clyde, yeah.
And in Scrooged in 1998 with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
1988, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, that's it for the cast.
Love it.
Look, we've been through. Talking to the director, we've talked about Richard Donner
We did not
before.
Donner 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
we can
but
probably
there's
do
one
this.
thing you haven't mentioned about Richard Donner, which is probably his piece de resistance, is that he is actually 2 degrees of Quigley Down Under.
Is he
He produced Free Willy,
right?
which was directed by Simon Windsor,
Right.
who directed Quigley Down Under.
Look at you go.
So why isn't that on your stats list?
Well, if it was 1 degree, it'd get there, mate. 2 degrees.
I'd expect you to have at least up to
Longbow.
3 or 4.
There'd be quite a few 2 degrees to Quigley Down Under. We can bring that in. We
Well,
can
it
have a
is
look at
already. I've thought it was established that it was the number one thing on Born to Watch podcast.
Quickly Down Under.
Yeah, 1 degree.
It's the
1 to
least.
2 degree.
It's probably the least watched movie on the Born to Watch podcast.
Yeah. Look, I still haven't actually seen it, but you know.
Maybe we do need to do it.
that. All right.
Okay, Gal. So what about box office and?
All right,
and-
here we go. Here's the gross. Domestic box office 62 million, international 849,000. So a total of 63.1 million on a budget of 19 million. So it still made a fair bit of money. It was actually number 11 for that
For the
year. So
year?
the 11th movie in 85, but we've been through 85 before. The Color Purple had 11 nominations. How many wins did it have?
0.
0.
Oh, really?
It's one of only 2 movies to ever do that.
Steven Spielberg.
But Out of Africa had 11 nominations and 7 wins. So it had Best Picture, Best Director for Sidney Pollack, and then it had a whole heap of other, minor,
Let's be
minor
hon-
ones, but not acting awards. But
Let's be honest though. 85 begins and ends with the sly double shot. Rocky 4, Rambo 2.
that's true. Back to the Future is
Yeah.
85.
Yeah. Okay.
Cocoon.
Let that going. Wilfred Brimley. That's
Yep.
1 degree.
So
Wilfred Brimley.
you say that Rambo was the number 2 movie, made 300 million. Back to the Future is number 1 at 385. Rambo 300. Rocky 4 300 as well. There's only a few $1,000s between those two. But yeah, Out of Africa, View to Kill, The Color Purple.
A good year. A good year of cinema. Not the
Witness.
greatest year of
No,
cinema.
it wasn't 86 or 87.
Or 88
was
or
working out.
89 or 90. 91.
But anyway, let's move on. We've been there before, so
Yep. Well, we've done all of 85 before. You want
Yes.
to touch on anything else in 85, yeah?
No.
Well, just like last
I'm-
week, you did mention a lot of all the songs Morgs went on the songs.
Yeah, he
and
did.
it-
He loved
But
it.
I just wanted to, like the songs were good, like Jeffrey J. Bumfiler. I can't believe he used his real name,
I know, it's incredible.
but he's singing. He's singing. When he
It's the
sung,
voice of a generation.
well, it was, but it also, in about 85, they used to get Bevan from Young Talent Time.
YTT, yeah.
He was the John Farnham specialist.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Jeffrey J. Bumfiler has taken some Bevan notes. But because he specialises in the John Farnham. He was really good. But speaking of his name, though, look, it reminds me, I went to a school with a guy called Jonathan Tampon. And as you can imagine, he got bagged out a lot at school.
Yeah.
So he ended up changing his name. And he came back to school the next year as Stephen Tampon.
Funny.
Yeah,
Funny
true
guy.
story.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Well, it's fun. We talk about funny names we went to school with, Gowan, and I remember that it took me a long time to realise that we went to school with a guy. His name was Richard Hares, right? His nickname was Pubes, right? And it took me until after we left school to realise
The connection.
because I didn't know, and no one really knew him as Richard Hares. So it was just Pubes. Hey Pubes. Hey Pubes. And then it was like when I was 19, it was like light bulb moment, like Richard, and like laughed for an hour. I thought that I've missed 5 years of laughing my head off at that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Because I was like, you could have called me Pubes. I got him in year 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the go with the nicknames? How do you earn them?
And yeah, then how do you think he would have got that name?
Yeah.
Someone's checked out his nutsack at lunchtime?
Well, they might have had the after PE showers.
Yeah, well,
And we also played footy against the guy whose name was Richard Heads.
well,
He
he,
did too,
I-
played for Gordon.
yeah, he was my mate.
He
I went
was
to
your
school with
mate.
him.
Yeah,
Headsy.
yeah, tampon.
I know.
That's bad.
Yeah.
What's the parents thinking?
Look, I don't know.
What are they thinking?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Clearly not.
question time.
But once again, once you know these people, you don't actually think of them, their names as that. But
Oh,
like,
he's
just
a
like with
dickhead.
pubes,
He's a
you don't,
dickhead.
yeah.
He's a dickhead. Okay, question time. A couple interesting things going on in this movie, but is it really possible that old One-Eyed Willy's ship could have stayed hidden for this long?
Well, let's just. I mentioned this again with Avatar the other day about penis slang names, like One-Eyed Willy. Like
I laughed. I'd forgotten about
Why don't they
One-Eyed
just
Willy.
once again just call him Big Fat Wang?
Yeah.
Like why? It's just the most blatant.
Blue
name.
vein custard chucker.
Yeah. It's
Oh, blue vein custard chucker.
like, what's the point of calling someone One-Eyed Willy? Like, seriously, when you're talking about coming up with names. But I believe there are caves that are big enough, and if that can hide a ship.
Okay. Okay.
Mate, I can tell you that ship stayed intact inside that cave, however it got in there for that long. But I can tell there's a reason. It was obviously well built because when the whole mountain cracked down and it left an opening to get out there, the surf out there was about 8 foot.
It was
So
pumping.
Mate, how
and
good
that
was
boat
the surf?
just charged out there. So it was obviously well designed.
How good was
It's a
the
Ben
surf?
Lexon design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wind kill.
But also, like, it was miles away.
Yeah.
Those kids got there real quick.
oh, when they
Right.
yes, yeah.
So anyway,
Well, yeah.
yeah. Look, okay. Data or short round? What is it? Who is it? Which one?
Who's the best?
Yeah.
Short round. Rounders, mate, when you see him in action, you know.
Well, you've taken him on, mate. You've gone, yeah.
You're like Kramer. Kramer.
In the he dominated that dojo.
Will.
And then Elaine turns up and sees him fighting against the kids.
Hey, but they're same belt. Same belt.
my
No, mate,
God.
that's unfair. It wasn't really like that. It was more like Dwight Schrute and Michael in the office when they go down to the dojo.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I thought Data, he was pretty cool with his Batman utility belt.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think he's like his teeth and his boxing glove were robust enough to actually perform as they did in the show. Because those teeth, mate, they could hang on, and the little
Yeah.
bit of the slinky
Yeah.
held him from landing on the punji sticks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Morgs' song last week.
Not pungy.
Punji, no, definitely punji sticks. So, but yeah, I think Short Round is far more memorable because I think the name Short Round is brilliant.
Better, yeah,
it's
it's great.
because it just like nothing, no one else has ever been
Dr.
called
Jones.
Short Round.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So the kiss in the cave. How dumb is Andy? How does she not know, even when she grabs him, that's not the guy that's 5
dark.
inches taller than him?
It was lucky. Yeah, lucky she. Yeah.
There's a lot of those things in the movie that you sort of go, oh, it sort of jumps the shark. Quite a few scenes like that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it go because I noticed that, and she's like, oh, he must have been standing in a hole, and I was like, it's just.
I kind of actually didn't really notice it, and then I just actually did the flick back, just like, what? Oh, right. Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. Okay, last one. So what happens at the end of the movie? The ship, which is full of gold,
Loot. Yep.
is sailing out.
Yeah.
And they see it, and then it's just all they just stand around talking.
Oh, the TV camera films it.
Isn't it like, get that boat now?
Yeah.
Oh no, I found the marble bag. Get the boat.
Yeah, we don't have to worry anymore. We've got
Yeah.
the marble bag full of a tiny amount of.
Yeah, we've got
jewels.
7 gems.
Yeah. It was the ending was very odd.
Is it a mad rush for the boat?
How did the police get to that beach so quickly?
How do they know where to be?
Which is remote. And how did all the parents get there in the minivan so quickly?
Yeah, because they basically walked up the hill and
The cops were there, and then the parents were there.
It was like
Yeah.
it was
all the
scheduled.
parents.
All the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did something happen? Yeah, I'm just trying to think. They
Although
didn't
the
get.
kids were missing.
They didn't get it. Yeah.
But
yeah.
how long were they missing for? It was only in the day.
It was they all night. I think all night because
all night?
they went when they went to
They
the
went missing
police
in the
station. It was
afternoon.
night time, wasn't it?
Oh no! When they went underneath the
The
golf
wishing
club.
well.
The wishing well. Yeah.
Yeah,
went
it was
to
night time then.
nighttime,
Yeah, up the top was night. Yeah. So the whole night out. Yes.
And hang on, and I've got to throw one last question in there. We get to the quickfire bit after the good, the bad, the ugly bit. Troy, who's the biggest douche in the movie,
Yeah.
his neck breaks when he smashes up into the room.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
on the
that's
toilet,
a broken
the
neck.
toilet scene.
That's
yeah.
a broken neck in the toilet scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there's no action going on in that toilet with
That's,
guns and ammo.
That's one enema. That one. Far
Yeah.
out. Jeez.
All right.
Did you know, so I don't know if you got this, listeners, but you know there was a whole scene where they were banging on those pipes and the pipes break and they were supposed to like flood everything and then gorillas came out and jumped in a car and there was a whole different scene that got cut out of the movie, which would have made it even more.
Yeah. I've
There's
got
an
some stuff on that.
There's
that
an
I'll bring up.
alternative version of the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Yes, there is, yeah.
Okay, time to move into the categories. And we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we talk about the stuff that we like about the movie, the stuff that we think is pretty ugly, and some stuff that's bad. And we're going to start with you, Damo. What do you got, mate?
Well, obviously
For the
we
good.
brought up Leroy from Fame Fashion.
Yep.
To go through the whole movie, I had a tear in my eye just looking at those tracky dacks and the shorts over the top. So I love that.
What about how they tied him up with his stretchy chest
Oh,
board?
Yeah.
They just tied him up around it.
That's
you-
data. That's data.
But you don't want to do one of those spring-loaded chest pullers
Oh,
with your
no.
shirt off.
No.
You get,
You get
if
your
you got a
Well, hairs?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chest
bit of
hairs,
chest hair, yeah. Well,
You could lose a nipple.
you could. Yeah, old school, exercise equipment, dangerous.
Yeah.
I like just kids on bikes adventures. It's just it's a genre to itself.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yep. Okay.
So that was
BMX
sorry,
bikes.
that was my good. It was like it had a real ET or Stranger
It did,
Things
yeah,
feel to it, and I
yeah.
was like, kids on bikes running around their little town. You know,
Yeah.
that was my good. So
yeah, I
I'm
definitely.
right with you on that.
takes me back.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I did everything on a bike
Yes.
until I had a massive crash and never rode again.
Right.
But everything was on a bike, and preferably a BMX if your parents could
Yep.
buy you one.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, and also the nicknames. Everyone was called by a nickname, even the
Yes.
girls.
Yeah.
Right. So the nicknames, it's cool. Love nicknames. But the thing that I probably loved the most, as I'm the shower and soap expert of Born to Watch, the guy that rocked into the shower with some shower confidence, like he was wearing. He's got his soap on a rope around his neck,
Around his
right?
neck, yeah.
And he's got confidence like he's wearing the necklace, the ruby and diamond necklace that Julia Roberts wore in Pretty Woman. His confidence going into that shower with that soap and a rope around his neck.
Well, you know why he's got that confidence, don't you?
Because he's got the soap and a rope.
Yeah. Well,
It reminded me of you in the podcast showers afterwards.
Well,
you
mate,
know, when
he's-
you strut
it's
in.
not the only thing. Look, the soap on the rope isn't the only thing hanging on him, which is why he strutted in there.
Well, he had some supreme shower confidence, and I love, as I said, as the shower expert, I love to see shower confidence. Walk in there, put
Own
that
it.
soap and rope around your neck, and just strut in. Yep.
He
Like
owned it.
you're walking down the catwalk of Milan.
He did own it
He did own it.
He owned it.
until the taps got pulled through the wall.
Yeah.
That was some good camera work. It wasn't far away from showing some from Richard Hare's there.
Yeah. was a bit Porky's angle.
It was a bit
camera through the wall.
But for a kids' movie too, it's like, here's a shower scene of men.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Gow? What do you got?
Look, as I said, I had the kids running around the neighbourhood getting into adventures. So it takes us all back to being a kid and doing that. But the other one I had, we talked about earlier, was Mouth's hair. It's just a cracking boof.
That's a wave.
That is a boof.
It's a boof.
It's blow dried every morning.
Yeah, and when he's combing it, and he's really proud
With
of it
a
too.
brush.
I was
It's not a
mate,
comb. It's a full-on brush.
It takes me back to the early 90s.
Where did he keep his goddamn brush?
Oh,
Like,
Data
is it-
kept it.
I guess say Data had a backpack.
Data had it.
But that was a big brush to carry
Yeah,
around.
it's a big brush. Data had it in Dora's backpack. I've got look. I love the Misfits banding together. I love that story. Like it, and I love the BMX. But I really love Astoria. I love the location. What a beautiful place! Like it's they filmed Kindergarten Cop there 10 years later, and it is such a beautiful place. And there's some freaking surf pumping,
Rugged coastline.
rugged coastline, and you just see the surf. It was pumping.
So it's in Oregon. So how
Yeah.
far? So it would be bloody cold there then.
Cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cold.
Like, is
yeah.
it up top of Oregon? Or?
Yeah. Look, I've been up there. When Morgs and I were travelling, we actually went to Oregon. We rode horses on the beach.
Oh, hang on. But the next state up is Washington. What's Washington?
Yeah,
or-
Washington, Oregon.
Okay, so Oregon's not as cold as Washington, right?
Oh,
Or
probably. Well, it'd be close. I mean, it's high north, but yeah,
Yeah.
like we actually did go on the beach up there. It is like that windy and cold. Like Whitey's had enough.
Are we finished of the story? Okay,
Well,
right.
yeah.
I like it's a kids movie, but it's still pretty dark. Like dead bodies.
Oh, the opening
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
The guy hanging from the cell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Hey,
dark.
kids.
Well,
Like-
I put it on, and then Chrissy just looked at me and goes, "You're right," because the kids are watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'd
I was
forgotten.
shocked.
I'd forgotten about
Yeah.
that."
Yeah, but yeah, it's quite funny when he opens his eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like its sloth is quite frightening.
Yeah. The hills have eyes.
Yeah. Well,
It looked exactly like those people.
hills have uneven eyes,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
twitchy ears.
and they shoot kids. Like they're shooting at kids. Like you don't see that much anymore. They had no problems just shooting at kids.
Yeah.
The Fratellis. Yeah. So that's my good. What do you got for bad, Gow?
Oh, look, we've hit on a few of the bad things. It's probably some of the continuity in the movie and some of the things they got out. But there was one scene there at the end when they get back to the cops and the police and they're saying, you know, what happened when you're out there? And one of the kids says, "Oh, we're fighting a giant octopus," and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I didn't get the reference. I didn't understand
No,
it
because it's saying that it's cut out of the movie.
Right. So just things like that. And I
Sloppy.
know we said there's a few of them, but that just to me, I remember looking at it going, and why are they called the Goonies? Like they never really went down that track. You know,
Tell us why.
well, part of the town is called the Goondocks.
Yeah.
Right. So and they're called the Goonies because you know what's the kid that gets hit on the toilet when he's just standing
Troy.
by the well, Troy, and he's like, "You Goonies!"
Goonies.
Calls them all Goonies. I was like, "Oh, he's saying it like a bad thing," and then I didn't know why because I thought it was their gang name, but the Goonies is
Just
like,
like
your
the,
Westies or
like
your,
the Ducky Boys and the
yeah, or
Wanderers.
something like an area of town, like
Yeah.
so the Goondocks. So that's not really well explained. But anyway, that's my bad. There's a few continuity things in that movie.
What about you, Damo?
Sorry,
yeah,
I
go-
have one
yeah,
more. Sorry,
Go for it.
and Chunk's whinging. We went through it before, but he's whinging, especially at the start when before they go into the old restaurant. I was just like, God,
Yeah.
it's enough.
He's a nightmare.
Well, I'll say with Chunk too that he just at the end when he goes up to Sloth and goes, "Oh, you're going to go live with me now." I'm thinking, imagine bringing him home to
Yeah.
mum and dad. Like,
Mate.
you might want to check. You might want to run this by your parents first before I bring this
Mate,
7
the
foot.
dental bill's going through the roof.
Yeah. So anyway, Chunk's going to live with him now. Great. Hey.
Yeah.
So I thought that's ridiculous. But also, when you remember when the brothers hugged it out on their balcony, like they here's a letter for your dad and it's going to be foreclosed, and the brothers sort of hugged it out. Well, if you look in the background, all the trees are really thick and green and leafy, but there's leaves fallen down like it's autumn all over their porch. I just thought that didn't make sense.
Well,
Thanks,
thanks,
about when
Jamie Jury.
What about when Troy grabs Brand's hand and like he's on the little kid's bike?
Oh,
well, first
trying
of all,
to kill him.
who steals a bike off a little kid?
Yes.
For one, which
Yeah,
is terrible.
yeah.
But two, then he flies up the road and then just flings him into
Nice.
the bushes. Gone.
Death.
Yes.
Grievous bodily
That
harm.
was death.
Well,
Death.
I don't know if that little bike gets going that fast. Like you would be.
Isabel said to me, "Why is there smoke coming from the thing?" I go, "It's a movie, darling."
But he just hammers him, and then they just
Yeah.
drive off like, he's in the
funny.
bush.
There he is, just dropped off that cliff.
Yeah, and she's going on a date with Brand. Andy's going on a date with Brand on the Friday. She's wearing Troy's jacket, and it's like whatever day it is, the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Well, that was there so that she could stick it on and take it up.
Yeah,
on
that was
the,
funny. I
on the,
enjoyed
on the
that. I
wheel,
enjoyed
up
that.
the wheel. Yeah.
Okay. Look, all this seems to be happening 6 meters below the surface of town.
It was because
Right.
they could move
Well,
the
they-
pipes and
they
the bubblers
threw-
would
but they-
move.
But they also flicked the coin back up the wishing well.
That's right, yeah.
And they were looking down, they could see them. It wasn't very, in fact, I think 6 meters is a stretch.
Well, you're right, but they did, once they hit the water slide bit, that's when they dropped down
they
lower.
dropped right down.
And they go down the one slide all together on the same thing and come
And
out
they come
different
at
holes.
Yeah.
Right?
Mate, it was Waterworks.
I don't know.
It was Manly 1980s.
It was.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got
Grundy's at Gold Coast.
my last one, because we've mentioned I've got Josh Brolin's gear as bad.
As
I know
bad?
I know you. I know.
Oh,
Damo.
fair income.
Don't talk to him, Damo.
That's
I've
just
already,
unbelievable.
I've
Just
already
ignore him.
mentioned Morgs as Mouth and Troy. Just what a dick.
And his name and everything.
Oh, but just at the end when his dad's a dick too.
yes.
But him coming over the shoulder, ripping into them. You're gonna have to move out. This is my dad. I'm like, mate, can someone punch this kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shithead.
See, all of that wasn't explained too well either. The golf course coming in, and then why have they just lost their kids? And then someone comes up, "You got to sign these papers right here." We just found our kids that apparently
That
missing
wasn't.
days."
It
Sign
really
the
wasn't
papers.
explained.
No,
That.
not really. You
No.
kind of had to.
Bits and pieces missing all over the shop.
All right, we got anything for ugly?
Yeah. You go. I don't have anything for ugly. I kind of covered everything in mind.
Yeah, all
so
I was thinking
you
the
go.
octopus was sloppy leaving that
Yep.
in. But the main thing is, too, was the ugly was, remember the escape route when Sloth held the rock open?
Yeah.
Held the rock? And everyone basically got a teabagging in the back of their head from Sloth to get
No,
out.
but Chunk was right in there, like
it was
face
just
first.
Teabag one. Yep, you. It's time for you. Time for you. It's like, seriously, how come the escape route is through his nutsack?
Yeah.
That's right. It was just everyone got a teabag to the back of the head.
Well, it reminded
little bounce in his-
It
little
reminded
bounce
me
in
of
his
the
step
booby
there.
traps when the big rock bags fell down. It was like they had to go into one more bag.
yeah.
Right?
Those rocks, I don't know what they were doing. They were falling so far away from
Yeah.
them.
What about the bats? The bats were made from paper mache.
Well,
Black
where did
paper
they
mache,
come from?
and they flung them out of an air gun thing. Just to,
God, so funny.
Well, it did. It reminded me of the old choose your own adventure books. You'd read one page, this happened. Then you go, oh, okay, go into this cave
Oh, it was
or
set piece.
go
It
into
was
the
set
boat.
piece. It was
And
set
you go,
piece.
oh, this page, oh, this happened.
100%.
And it was like, it was just exactly like every turn there was just something that happened.
Yeah.
And it was a choose your own adventure book made into a movie.
All right, my ugly Sloth. You can't get away with that today. Would not happen
With
that character.
with that character.
Chaining him
Just-
up.
Just wouldn't anything to do with Sloth wouldn't happen nowadays. Really. Also, I got a couple things. Sloth again and Chunk kissing on the lips at the end. I love you, Chunk. I love you, Sloth, or whatever.
There was a
I was
kiss,
a bit
yeah.
like, okay, that's a bit much for me. And the Fratellis, they are so caricature bad. Everything they do is the ultimate bumble.
Slapstick.
It's the ultimate.
Yeah.
It's the Three Stooges.
These two guys that can get themselves out of a jail
Out of
cell,
jail.
Oh, and
and
that
then
was-
they can't catch a couple of kids running through the rocks. Like,
They were really clever in bits, and then they were just these bumbling idiots that just
and so after Data sprayed the shit on the
slippery
pole,
the slippery sneakers.
the stuff,
Or-
and then it was like they were climbing Mount Everest after that, trying to get the hill. It took them 15 minutes to get up
It's
there.
like they're coming. They're coming.
I know, the kids are at the top, and they're like,
They're,
what is
they're-
going on here?
They're literally 2 meters away from me.
Mate, they were on a 20-meter set. Like it was like,
Yeah, I know.
all right, I think that's enough. So Morgs isn't here, but we're still going to do Morgs's Quickfire. And he would go a pew pew, a pew pew. But we've got a sound effect now, so I'm sure that's been edited in by the amazing production team. Okay, number one, that's not a knife. The scene or scenes that has passed over into pop culture. You got anything?
I think, not that I know, but I know a lot of kids used to do the truffle shuffle.
Yep.
Get the guts out and do that little dance.
Yep. Anything, Gal?
not really. The Goonies themselves are sort of in popular
Yeah.
folklore, I
What
guess,
about-
as a general. But
What about, hey, you guys? That, I actually used that.
Did you?
Yeah, I used that at home
Did you?
Yeah.
When?
this morning.
Is that what you were saying to us on the way in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
look. Next question.
Okay. Hey, Derek Spreckensy Dick for the biggest dick character. We talked about him already.
it
haven't
has
we?
to be Troy.
Troy. Troy and his dad.
Troy.
Troy and his dad. Okay. Jennifer Jason Leigh in Backdraft, the actor that's in a different movie.
I don't think that Martha Plimpton really needed to be there. The blonde.
Oh, yeah.
I can't disagree at all, Gal. I think she's
just a random there.
She's the manager. She's Andy's manager.
Yeah,
And she was a bit whiny too. Yeah, a bit whiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Andy's manager. She offered nothing.
No,
Good
but
one.
the only thing she offered was a kind of a little thing between her and Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
there
was
was-
odd
it
because
was-
she's
yeah.
like
4 years
8
older.
years older
Yeah,
than him or
yeah.
whatever she is supposed to be.
But then her best friend pashed him, so you know.
No, that passed the brother, not Mouth.
Oh, it wasn't Mouth, was it? It was
Yeah,
Mikey. It was Mikey.
yeah.
That's
It was
right.
Mikey.
But even I Samwise Gamgee, or
Yep.
what's his name?
Sean Astin.
Yeah, he's developed brilliantly as an actor, but I just thought he was a bit how you going in this. I mean, I know he's a little kid and everything, but
One of his first movies.
yeah, I just thought, I don't know.
I think we need to also remember that these are legitimate kids.
Yeah.
Right? They're legitimate kids.
He was supposed to be playing that wistful sort of character that believed in all the magic. And
Gave
wanted
the
to-
inspiration.
Yeah,
He
wanted
was
to find
Sam.
the-
He was Sam again,
He
though,
was.
giving the inspirational speeches
Yeah.
to encourage people to keep moving on. It was like, this is, he does the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
It'll
Okay.
be at school, but it'll be someone else's school. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Ripley running for bad athletic prowess. Anything?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Brand. He was terrible. I mean, his clothes were great, but he was terrible on the weights. I mean, if you get tied up by your brother to your slinky,
Yeah.
chest,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chunk getting over the fence, clearly not
Can't
great.
get over the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not great, Chunk.
Damo, anything?
No, I can't really think of it. I think maybe some of them walked the plank were a bit, jumping in were a bit sort of, I can't remember who, but they just didn't look like they were very relaxed or.
Yeah.
Poor old
What
Data.
about
Poor old Data had
jumping
to
in?
jump it twice
Yeah.
because he got thrown in once. Then
Well,
the next scene
well,
they show them all jumping in.
But the walk the plank thing anyway was kind of shit. Well, you're gonna walk the plank. Oh no. But that ended up being the escape route. Everyone jumped off the plank anyway.
Yeah.
They jump 5 minutes into the water and then they can swim off. It was not really. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. All right. I've got the Fratellis on the log.
Yeah, the slippery log.
So, okay. Robot sentries, the scene that we would like to see in the movie.
Well, there was a cut scene that I did actually watch.
Is that the octopus one?
Not that scene. It was a scene in a cafe or a milk bar. So when they first leave to ride their bikes, when they go, let's go on the adventure, they stop at a cafe or a milk bar, and Chunk's there eating the ice cream, but Troy's in there, and Troy grabs their map and starts to burn it, and this is why the top of the map gets a bit burnt, and he's picking on Mikey and he's picking on Mouth. Brand ends up riding in at that same time, just after, and then pushes him away and threatens to beat the crap out of him. And also, but when they're there, Mikey actually looked at the map and compared it with a modern map, and he traced along the actual outline of the coast and actually gave context to his map to the real coast. And it actually gave a reason for, okay, that's why they've got to go to
That's
that
why
space.
they're going there.
It also gave a reason for why Troy was such a dick and tried to then kill him on the car because he threatened to beat him up in this thing. And it was a scene that it's like a deleted scene. There was the octopus one as well, but that didn't matter.
Yeah.
And there was stuff about the monkeys as well, the gorillas. But that scene would have been bloody good to have in there because it really did.
Well, it's a bit of exposition that there's so little exposition in this movie.
Yeah, it explained why the top of the map was burnt when they were trying to play the piano thing as well. But it explained why they were in that area and the Troy bit.
I don't think the editor got any awards for this, did he? I don't think he was really up there.
No, I think they just went, let's just put that
He might have been
let's put
Razzie.
that
He's like,
scene.
yeah, that one's good. How long do you want it to be? Yeah, all right, take that out. That's fine.
Yeah. And because it didn't matter because it was just one page out of the Choose Your Own Adventure book
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
missing. And
It was
it's
just
not
set
going to
pieces.
matter.
It was just set pieces. Okay. Last one, if I can find it.
Oh, it's the special relations.
It's Brad Pitt, the person you like to have special lie downs with. Gow, anyone?
No, not in this movie.
Yeah.
They're all
Wow.
kids.
No,
Yeah.
well, Mikey's mum was pretty
Well,
good
Mary Ellen
sort.
Trainor.
With
Yeah,
the-
Mary Ellen
Why
Trainor.
did she have a
Yeah.
arm in a sling?
Don't know.
It was totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like if I put myself in the kid's shoes, Andy's is a good sort.
Yeah.
But, she's a kid. And she legitimately is a kid.
She might have been, hang on, she was born in, I looked it up, maybe about 67.
Okay.
So if
she's
that was
18.
85.
She's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So
Or
no
maybe,
one.
yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe
Rosalita.
68.
I reckon Rosalita might have been a bit dirty.
Mary Ellen Trainor was only 15 years older than Josh Brolin in this movie playing his mum,
Oh, right.
and was only 18 years older than
Jeez, he's got
Mikey,
some stats,
Sean
isn't he?
Astin.
He's bringing the heat. Just knows
good.
dates, everything.
He's good.
David Middleton.
He's worth the paycheck.
Midowed the shit out of that.
Okay. Well done, gents. Listen to this. What have we got, Gow? For listen to this.
I just gave you a cracker. What?
I know.
More? All right.
Don't have to.
There's a scene in there when Sean Astin says "Holy Mackenzie" in the movie. That's actually his brother's name.
Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mackenzie Astin. So that's what he's Holy Mackenzie. That's actually his brother's name. The other one with that is he was allowed to keep the treasure map out of the film. Did you
Yeah.
have that?
Oh, yeah.
But his mum threw it out.
Yeah.
Literally threw it out.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, not nice. Mums. Bad mums in this movie all around.
But yeah, in that with that map too, like the production designer didn't think it looked old enough, so he put some coffee and stuff on it. And when he couldn't find any paint, he used his own blood to try and make it a bit more ripped up and old. Like I mean, it's supposed to be how old? Like a few hundred years old.
Yeah, yeah. He needed more sepia.
You needed,
which was your word from.
You like that?
It's amazing.
I can let you use it. It's not my word, but okay. I've got this. Goonies was mostly shot in sequence. Production took 5 months, or 3 weeks and 119 days.
In the born to watch scale, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Nice
all the main characters are only referred to as nicknames, which is
Mhm.
the part that I love about the movie.
Yeah.
Because we all lived with nicknames, right? And no more when we're at footy. Like it's, life was nicknames, but their real names: Mikey's Michael Walsh, Mouth is Clark Devereaux,
Oh,
Data is Richard Wang. They really went out on a
Dick
limb with that
Wang.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dick Wang.
Dickie Wang.
Dick Wang.
Dick Wang. Like, hang on. There you go. Oh,
He's up there with One-Eyed Willy.
Wang.
He's up there with One-Eyed Willy.
Yeah.
Someone is having a joke here. Who was he? Huge ass?
Brand is Brandon Walsh.
Oh,
Fair enough.
90210.
Chunk is Lawrence Cohen. Andy is Andrea Teresa Carmichael. And Steph is Stephanie Steinbrenner. And Sloth is Lotney Fratelli.
Lotney.
Lotney Fratelli.
Oh, that was the old Ferdy Dominelli. Ferdy Dominelli.
The Ferdy bird.
The Ferdy bird.
I remember that. Yeah, and Tony Packard from Tony Packard Holden.
Oh, yeah,
up the
Tony
Windsor
Packard.
Road, Windsor Road, Borkham Hills.
Oh, my God. Okay, so there's...
All right, I've got the Goonies oath for you. Do you want to do
Yeah, go for
do
it.
the Goonies oath? Right.
Please do.
This was the oath that was cut out of the movie, which they probably could have done having in there. I will never betray my Goondock friends. We will stick together until the whole world ends. Through heaven and hell and nuclear war. Good pals like us will stick like tar. In the city or the country.
Stick like tar.
Is it tall? Is it supposed to be stick like tall?
No, tar's sticky.
Yeah, I know that, but
It
it's
says,
more.
through heaven and hell and
Sounds like one-
nuclear war. Good pals like us will stick like tar. Sounds like one of our songs.
I was going to say, it sounds like a Qcast credit song.
In the city or the country or the forest or the boonies, I'm proudly declared a fellow Goonie. That's got a bit of Peter Russell Clark in it. In the city or the country or the forest or the boonies.
Peter, g'day. Russell, g'day. Clark.
We're Astoria's favourite Goonies.
Well, that's a shit oath.
Treasure hunters, with Mikey, Chunk, and Brand.
But did you guys also notice there was a couple of Gremlins Easter eggs in the movie?
Yeah, did.
Did you have that?
Yep. Very good, eh?
Well, which ones?
There was one I noticed when they said it. When Chunk calls the police officer and he's like, "You're prank calling me again." This is like the prank about the creatures that multiply when you throw water on them, isn't it? And when Chunk's like, "No, this is real. This is real."
Right. Well, the other one is what you've got up on the screen. We've got a picture of Sloth up there with his Superman shirt on, which was the Richard Donner movie in 1978, and they actually played the John Williams score
to it, yeah.
when he ripped off the shirt. So it was a little bit of a nod to Richard Donner, for himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also that guy, Sloth. So his name is John Matsuzak.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
he was a gridiron player, and he won a Super Bowl 4 years before this.
Yeah.
And he later died.
Died in '89. Only died like 4 years old. He was 38 when he died.
Steroid sort of related heart issues. Yeah.
No,
'Cause
it was congestive heart failure. That's right.
yeah. So, and they said he was on a lot of roids. But that whole gorilla subplot was completely written up. So the chains that Sloth was chained up in, they said, "We've got these from the zoo." And then the mum said, "Hope we don't have to get back and get another set. Hopefully these work." So the story was that they took the chains from the gorillas.
Right.
And then the gorillas then escaped.
Right.
But they left all that. They didn't even bother with it. 'Cause it's just,
Continuity.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Just all, yeah. So there was no gorillas in it. But also too, I read that there's a few different people that said so that the kids never got to see the pirate ship until they slid down the water slide because Spielberg and Donner wanted to actually see their real reaction. But apparently they swore, "Oh my God!"
One of them
this
went, "Holy
and
shit," or something like that. Yeah.
So that footage then they couldn't use. So then they had to then redo it and act surprised.
Well, that ship was entirely real. Like it was
Yeah.
fully built.
Yeah.
And they tried to sell it or get it off, and no one wanted it, so they scrapped it.
Oh,
How,
mate,
how
imagine
can a
that.
boat that can go through 8-foot breakers not get
That's
sold?
right.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
It was well built. It was well built. Anyone got anything else for listening to this?
No.
Well, there is one more thing. There is a band in the UK called the Fratellis, named after this mob.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Well done. All right, 1 degree of Kurt Russell. Does anyone have it?
I'm thinking
No, I don't.
Josh Brolin.
Oh, well, he was in Guardians. Oh, no, Thanos.
No.
Was he in a Guard? No.
No.
I'm thinking what's his name for telly?
Richard
Davy.
Or Davy? Davy?
Davy.
He's in a lot of
I
movies.
can't get it though.
I've
I
got
can't
it.
get it.
I've
All right,
got
what is it? What is it?
Okay, I've got a long bow, and it's Josh Brolin. He's in Planet Terror,
Oh, jeez.
which was part of the Grindhouse movies with Quentin Tarantino. Kurt Russell stars in the Quentin Tarantino movie Death Proof. Josh Brolin stars in the Planet Terror movie where he plays the Doctor, but they were shown together
Under
as the
same-
Grindhouse.
Right.
That's the long bow.
It is long.
The
Because
one
that's sort of
degree.
more of a 2. It's 1.5, isn't it?
The
That?
one
Yeah, it's
degree
1.5. Yeah.
is Mary Ellen Trainor. She's in Executive Decision.
Oh,
She's one of the hosties.
she
She gets
is.
killed.
Oh.
She's pals with Halle Berry.
Yep.
She gets shot.
Right.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Well done.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Really good
I
get.
was pretty pumped to get that one. Okay, so we got quotables now, and I think there's not a heap.
No.
I've got Hey You Guys with Sloth. The thing that I laughed at out loud is when the statue gets tipped over at the start and the penis
Statue of
gets
David,
broken, and Mikey sees it and goes, "Oh my God, that's my mum's favorite piece," and then Mouse like, "We wouldn't be here if it wasn't."
I didn't even pick that up.
And I lost it. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Well, there's the other bit where Mikey goes, "Oh, you idiot! You glued it upside
Yeah,
down." He goes, "You
upside
talk.
down.
If God made it like that, we'd all be pissing in our faces."
Yeah, that whole bit was quite funny. The whole
Yes,
bit with the
yes,
with the
this-
broken doodle.
Yes.
Mama Fratelli, kids suck.
Yes, I
Yeah,
got that.
kids
That
suck,
was actually
yeah.
one of the bits I laughed
Yeah,
at too.
I think
Kids
that often.
suck.
I think that often.
Yeah.
And also the other bit, Chunk looks at the map and he's like, 1632. What is that? A year? And Mouth goes, "No, it's your top scorer on pole position." So there are a couple of things, but look, you got anything, Damo?
Oh, I when Chunk, I smell ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then he went to the fridge and the
Above the dead body.
yeah, the mum at the end when Brand was kissing his girl.
Yeah.
And the mum and the dad are going, "Oh crap, look at this," and she just went, "Oh, let her mum worry about it."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
was
that's right,
Fair
yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, Mum.
The only one I had was when Mouth was doing his translation. He does the marijuana
Oh,
goes in
that
the
is
top drawer.
funny. That
The
is
cocaine and
but
speed
that
go in the second drawer.
shitted me too. It's
Yeah.
like, you can't do this, you little turd.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
and the heroin and the
doesn't she
cocaine.
just doesn't like whatever her name is,
Rosalita.
Rosalita, just go, "Shut up, kid."
Oh, exactly.
Said slap him. Shut up,
Yeah.
kid. It's in the 80s. He said
Well,
slap.
because she, in the end, she could have ran off with that bag of marbles of
For
bloody
sure.
diamonds. She just went and gave it to them.
Absolutely. All right, we got anything else?
No.
No.
Okay, Morgs isn't here, but we are going to still move into film school for f-wits. And today, I'll take the reins. We're going to do 5 movies where the kids save the day. Now, I've got 5 of ones that I've chosen. And the number 1, which I think is pretty easy, is E.T.
Yes.
All right, so we all know, released in 82, directed by Spielberg, about Elliot who finds the creature in his backyard,
Yep.
and
Top
they
film.
become best
Yep.
friends, and they develop this lasting relationship, and he's got to find a way to get him home. Like one of the greatest
top movie.
family movies ever
Don't,
made.
don't think you need to
absolutely.
explain more about that
No,
movie.
yeah, and I didn't see it because it surpassed Star
I saw it
Wars
at the
as
movies.
as the
Yeah.
greatest. Well, you were 22 when it came out. Okay, so number
I
2,
wasn't.
Never Ending Story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so about Bastian, who's reading the book up and the thing, gets transported into this land and has to help them into Fantasia, it's called, and he has to help save the day. And one of the most brutal and sort of upsetting scenes in all of cinema with the horse stuck in the bog and the kid trying to pull the horse out of the bog. Really, really sad.
What was that big bloody dog thing they were flying on? I just remember.
Oh, yeah. What was its name? Have you seen the Family Guy thing about that where
Yes,
Peter's riding
yeah.
it?
No.
Oh, my
That would be funny, though.
God. Oh, my
But
God.
when you say
Falcor it's
right,
called.
yeah. But when you
It's
say Never Ending Story, all I can think of really is Lamal
Oh, yeah.
And the
the
song.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack. One of the great soundtracks.
from Kajagoogoo.
Oh, mate. But there's a very funny... there's a very funny thing where Peter Griffin is riding Falcor and he's like, wee, wee. And he goes, Peter, you're too heavy. And he crashes into the ground. They dig this massive ditch, and then it's this big
crater.
hole, big crater, and then you just hear Peter in the ground go, "Wee, Peter, you're too heavy." Mate, it's so funny.
Gold.
So number 3, Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the great coming of age movies. You seen it, Damo?
No. River Phoenix.
not seen
I know
Stand By
the
Me.
movie. Yeah.
So based on the novella by Stephen King, The Body, set in 1959, young boys go to find a dead body on the train tracks.
Yep.
And they run into all sorts of mischief along the way and find themselves by trying to find this dead body. It's really, really good. Stars some stars of the future. River Phoenix, who burnt so bright and burned out. Corey Feldman again, and Jerry O'Connell, who essentially plays the chunk of that group, who goes on to become the Kushlash.
Kush.
Okay, number 4, The Witches. 1990s The Witches, adapted from Roald Dahl's book of the same name. The first book I ever read, first proper book I ever read. And it's made in 1990.
Is this the Angelica Houston one?
Angelica Houston. So about the boy Luke who stumbles across a convention of witches and then gets turned into a mouse, and with his grandmother has to save the day without the witches turning all the kids in the UK into mice. So my last one, the 5th movie where the kids save the day, is the 2011 movie Super 8.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Now, this is a great movie. J.J. Abrams directed, released in 2011, follows a group of friends who witness a train crash while making a movie with a Super 8 camera. They investigate, found out that it's an alien that has caused this crash. Action and horror ensues, and the kids essentially have to save the day. Now, Elle Fanning is in that movie, and she, while they're filming this scene, while the train is about to crash, it is one of the greatest pieces of acting from a child actor in this B grade or Z grade movie that they're filming that I've ever seen. It's brilliant.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it, Super 8. It's well worth a watch. If you've
Yep,
not seen,
I
I'm
saw it
sure you've
once.
seen
Yep.
some of those. I know Damo's probably seen one of them. Get into it.
I'm at a tier list. Home Alone.
Yeah, well, I
Cracker.
could have
Oh,
done
yeah,
Home
Cracker
Alone.
was
Yeah,
it.
there's heaps of them. There's heaps of them when you look at it.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah,
Have
keep
you ever
going.
heard of Ralph Macchio?
Well, we took
He was
Karate Kid,
50.
the Karate
when
Kid.
He was 50.
Well,
when-
he was 50. He was playing a 13-year-old
yeah,
or
yeah.
15-year-old or whatever he was.
Yeah.
But he saves the day
He does save the day.
along with Noriyuki.
But some would say that he also caused all the drama.
Well, we can go down that
There's
train
a
when we
line
do
of
that
thought.
movie.
There is a line of thought. Okay, so that's it. Props to you, Morgs. Well done. Probably the best film school for f-wits we've ever had.
without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay, now we move into our favourite segment of the show. And we've had, look, there's a bit of confusion here on the podcast, which doesn't happen very often because our production team is usually all over it. It's actually Gow's song tonight, but I thought it was my song. So we've both got a song. Now, depending on how good Gow's song is, maybe I'll do my song after.
Oh, so you're throwing me off first?
Oh, I can go first if you want.
No.
I think we just need to hear both anyway.
Okay. Sounds good. So,
All right.
Gow, what's your song called?
It's called What About Chunk?
And I already know
Oh, my
what you're going
God.
to say. What about Chuck?
I didn't do it in that. I should have.
Oh, my God.
This song is in a different. It's not You Got a Mullet. But
Oh, I'm
there's a
disappointed.
massive chance that it's going to flow into the tune's going to change halfway through. Right, because I riffed this one out. All right, and I stuck as close as I could to Morgs's 2 minutes, 2 verses and a chorus.
Right. Okay.
Right,
Well done.
Here we go. What about Chunk? Here come our heroes. They're called the Goonies. From a small town out in the boonies. They're on the trail of a pile of riches. Fratelli boys are chasing them. What a couple dumb bitches. Brand pumping weights. Feeling quite randy. Wears shorts over trackies. He'll never get Andy. The others in the gang are all pretty game. Except for Chunk, whose whinging is pretty lame. What's up with Chunk? He just balls. The cops don't believe his tales when he calls. The Fratellis pulled him up in their Range Rover like Hudson in Aliens. He's game over, man. Game over. What's up with Chunk? These days he's a lawyer. Probably a better way of making $1. What's up with Chunk? So can we all agree? Until he met Sloth, he was pretty S-H-I-T.
Yeah. That's really fucking good. That could be your masterpiece. My song doesn't. I don't think my song.
Goonies, the
We'll compare.
Boonies,
Yeah.
Goonies,
You know-
David Boone.
And you know what? I didn't.
David Boone should have come in there somewhere.
Well, I didn't realize that Boonies was in their oath either when I wrote, because I was like, what rhymes with Goonies? Boonies.
Boonies.
And I didn't. And then it was in the
Boondocks.
quotes. I was like,
What rhymes with war?
Ta.
Yeah, that's right.
It's actually pronounced Wah.
Okay, so as Gal, you missed it. We may leave it in, but you missed it that he did have a false start because he had the tune of "You Got a Mull in His Head."
Here come our heroes. They're called the Goonies.
Now, I actually cannot remember how my tune goes, but my song's called "Hey You Guys." Okay, and you'll get an idea about who's singing this song. He's a lot more descriptive than what he is in the movie in this song. Okay. I can still remember when I was dropped. It was when my brain function sort of stopped. My mum was not a good one. My brother's a shit. 4 walls and chains became my bit. Hey, you guys, I want some Baby Ruth. Hey, you guys, I want to tell you the truth. Been locked up in a cellar for far too long. When I see my mum and brothers, they better run. I'm gonna rescue Chunk and the dorky inventor. I really hate my mama, wish I never met her. I'm gonna go live with the Chunk. Is he my soulmate? What do you think? well, this is a kind of surprise. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys. Good work.
Oh, I thunk that was amazing.
How good is it?
It was good.
Love
it was
how you got
good.
thunk in there.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not often that we do 2 kick-ass credit songs, and tonight you guys have been, I guess, bestowed
What a
such
treat.
an honour.
What a treat.
And
Yeah,
Damo,
this is-
you know,
To
because
be
Damo's
here, like, it's going to be where were you? One of those moments, you know? When
Definitely.
Princess Di died or whatever. And
Absolutely.
where were you when Born to
When
Watch
when they
did a
did the
double
double,
header?
yeah.
Where were you when Harry
well, I
was
was
kicked
here.
out of the royal family?
Can you believe? Can you believe that the punters get this for free?
Yeah, it's
Unbelievable.
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, we need to talk about
Well,
that too, don't
isn't
we?
this pay-per-view?
What a service.
Okay, star of the show. Damo, we're going to start with you, our special guest, star of the show.
Yeah, I actually really found this hard to find someone. I think probably just the 4 mates, the Goonies themselves. They all sort of contributed, sort of had equal sort of time. So I think Mikey obviously is the main one, but I still didn't think he deserved to be the star of the show. So I think just the Goonies as a collective, the kids.
Yep, cool. Damo, Gal?
Brand's workout gear. Star
Oh,
of the
well, you
show.
know
Star
what?
of the show.
That's I'm changing mine.
he just rocks it from start to finish. Love it.
No, he does.
Not much more to be said.
He's very comfortable with it, isn't he? Look, I'm with you, Damo. I'm going the collective. I'm going the Goonies. I think that there's not an out-and-out star in this show at all. It's a collective. So I'm going to go with the Goonies themselves.
Yep.
All right, interesting movie, The Goonies, and an interesting rewatch. And it definitely, I saw different things this time. I had different feelings about it this time. And that's going to lead us right into the rank bank. So here we go. I've got 4 things. I get that. I think it picked itself again. So we're going to have dodgy inventions, preppy arseholes, truffle shuffles, or one-eyed willies.
What about Richard Wangs? One-Eyed Willies and Richard Wangs. No, yeah.
Well, we know it's one-eyed willies.
Yeah.
One-eyed willies, of
Okay,
course.
so Gal, actually, we'll start with our guest. Damo, how many One-Eyed Willies are you going to give the Goonies?
Well, I'll guarantee if I watched this in 1985 or if I was younger, I would have probably given it, I don't know, maybe a really high, almost a 5. I know I would have loved this as a kid. But watching it now, there was no nostalgia for me. I didn't look at it, oh, that was great. Like if I watch E.T. now, there's nostalgia. I watch Gremlins, there's nostalgia.
for sure.
I have none because I watched this for the first time. I had nostalgia when I watched the Cyndi Lauper film clip again. It was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But I had zero of that for me. The show is, it is a great adventure for kids. I still think kids nowadays would love it. But for me, I found it ho-hum. I gave it a 2.5.
2.5, okay. What about you, G?
One-Eyed Willies.
2.5 One-Eyed Willies for Damo. What about you, G?
Yeah, look, I'm very close with Damo on his synopsis there. It's on the rewatch, not much to hold me into it. I thought there's some funny parts. There's a lot of continuity that we went through. I could see how, it was so big as a kid, and especially if you're around that age or younger when you watched it, it could have been quite a good movie. But these days, I don't think it passed the test. I'm a 2.5 as well.
Wow, okay. All right, well, I've had a longer relationship with the Goonies than you guys, and I've seen it a lot more times. Now, that could have worked in its favour, or it could have gone against it. I reckon that I would have rated this movie a 4 out of 5 if I had rated this a couple of years ago, or maybe 5 years ago. I still really enjoyed it. Like, I did enjoy watching it. Didn't feel like it dragged for me, but it sort of does. I'm giving it 3.5, and that's purely nostalgia based.
Yeah, you've got it.
I've got the nostalgia there.
They got a full point for
So
nostalgia there.
it does. I think it probably gets a point for nostalgia, and I don't know how often I'll watch this movie again. This could be going on the shelf and not finding its way out. So, Gal,
it's seen its day for me. That won't be watched again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting though. So, have a look, Gal, and just tell us, where does Goonies stay in the pantheon of Born to Watch movies?
Okay, now the Goonies here has come into 30th spot out of 33. So it is right below the Lost Boys.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, at 3.00, right on the dot, Maggot Fried Rice, and above Bloodsport at 2.5 Kumites. So it's down the bottom. I think that's what should be. I'm quite surprised that the Lost Boys is down that low.
Yeah, we said that the other week. We said that the other week about
it's
the Lost Boys. I actually watched some of that the other day again. It was on, and I caught some of it. What do you think, Damo, about where it sits?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely down the bottom is where I would put it. And I would say Roadhouse, Bloodsport, Golden Child, Goonies, yep.
I'm telling you that if someone said watch one of those movies, it'd be one of those other three that I watch for the Goonies again, I'd say. I mean, I'd watch
right.
Roadhouse again.
No, you're right.
I'd watch
I
Bloodsport.
wouldn't watch Golden Child ever again, that's for sure.
I'm not sure if I watch but I'd definitely watch Bloodsport.
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
I'm all over Bloodsport.
That'd always get a run.
I'm all over Bloodsport. Okay, what are we watching? Gal?
Oh, I've been Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah. What are you
Just
thinking?
finished the first series. Yeah, it's a cracker of a
great,
show.
isn't it?
We, talk about binge. Chrissy and I really binged through that one. It's been great. I also finished off over the holidays Mystery Road season 2. Without going too much into that, nowhere near as good as season 1 in the end. It picked up in the middle, but jumped the shark a little bit at the end. Don't know if you guys have seen that, but no need to go into the reasons for that. But yeah, that's been me.
Excellent. Damo?
I watched
The Goonies?
Yeah, I watched The Goonies, but before I went away, I watched half of it and I watched the second half when I got back, and that was Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
I had to see Rod Tidwell.
Oh,
Great movie.
Air Dry.
Got to get the bonus.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
it's a cracker of a movie.
yeah,
Kelly Preston at her best.
yeah,
She's looking great in that.
yeah.
movie.
She is good in that. But it's a top show.
Yeah. No, it's a great movie. Okay, so I am late to the game here. I started Yellowstone.
Oh,
And have
nice.
binged season 1 in about 5 days. I'm really enjoying it. I've got to say, I ain't moving to Montana. That place is death every day. There's like 50 people have died in season 1.
Yeah,
But I'm enjoying it.
yeah.
But I'm like, surely it can't be like this.
Oh, without going to it changes throughout the series, but you get into the characters now too. You
Oh
start
no,
getting into what
I'm
they are,
enjoying it. I can understand the love affair with Rip.
Mate,
Beth's the dickhead.
that ranch is unbelievable.
Unbelievable ranch.
It is one of the best looking spots.
Unbelievable ranch. That's what I call the land, not some 4-acre plot in semi-suburbia. But anyway, that's it from us. Look, another good episode. Really enjoyed chatting about the Goonies. Thank you, Damo, for coming on and being a guest at
Thanks,
very
Damo.
short notice.
No props.
Our love goes out to Dan up there on the land with the family. And Al, got anything else you want to add?
No, that's it for me. Oh, hang on.
Yeah,
We've got to go through our next movie.
we do.
I think if you're going to do another girl movie too, I was looking at like Pretty Woman or Ghost would be a good.
Pretty
female.
Woman's probably the one.
Yeah, it would
Pretty
be.
Woman's a good movie.
Yeah, Pretty Woman.
Yeah, I think Pretty Woman would be really good.
Yeah. So I think that we're going to be doing one of them probably in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We'll do a girly one. I know Morgs will fucking hate it.
Yeah, but I think
it'd
it'd be.
awesome.
Yeah, I think Pretty Woman would be the best one.
Yeah. Okay, so next week, finally, Gow gets his way, and we're going to the Bushwood Country Club. Caddyshack.
Can't wait
Bushwood.
to do Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Oh, Bushwood.
Oh, Billy. You're going to play golf, and you're going to like it.
We're going to get stuck on a lot of quotes.
There's 1,000 quotes.
Notable quotables. It's going to take a long time next
Don't
week.
sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch. Yeah. And on that note, that is it from us. So until next week, when we see you on the fairways, it's bye for now.
See you, watchers.
See you in the showers with your soap and a rope.
Can't wait.
Own it.
I want to see the confidence.
I want to see some shower confidence.
I don't have any.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Born to Watch. To join us on our journey into some of our favourite movies of all time, you can find us on all good podcast networks like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and share with your friends.